Commander Taeho Kim stood at the main window of Earth's hidden orbital station. Stars filled his view. Somewhere out there, aliens were moving about, trading, fighting, and making deals. They had no idea humans were watching them. "Commander, we have new data from the edge of our solar system," said Officer Jinna Lee, her voice calm as she passed him a digital screen. Taeho looked at the screen. The data showed alien ships near Neptune. They were council ships. The Galactic Council thought humans knew nothing about space travel beyond their small moon missions. They were wrong. "How long have they been there?" asked Taeho. 3 days, sir. They seem to be studying the planet's atmosphere." "Nothing harmful yet," Taeho nodded. For 20 years, Earth had known about the Galactic Council. A crashed alien ship found in the Arctic had given humans their first real proof of alien life. Instead of announcing this to the world, the leaders of Earth had made a different choice. They would stay quiet. They would learn. They would prepare. "Any messages between their ships?" Taeho asked. "Yes, sir. Dr. Sujin Park has been studying them. She's waiting for you in the science room." Taeho walked through the clean white halls of the station. Few people knew this place existed. It was built using technology learned from the crashed alien ship. The world thought space travel was still basic. The truth was very different. In the science room, Dr. Sujin Park sat before screens filled with strange symbols. Her job was to understand alien languages and biology. Her team had made great progress over the years. "Dr. Park, what have you found?" Taeho asked. Sujin turned. Her eyes showed excitement. "The council ships are talking about us again. Listen to this." She pressed a button and a translation appeared on screen. "The Earth species shows no signs of advancing beyond basic rocket technology. They fight among themselves too much to ever join the galactic community. The resource evaluation suggests we can begin small harvesting operations without them noticing." Taeho frowned. "They're planning to take things from our solar system." "Yes, but it's not an immediate concern," said Sujin. "What's interesting is what they said next." She moved to another message. "High Council believes Earth humans may have unique biological traits. Their adaptive abilities and brain function differ from standard Class 3 species. Samples should be obtained when possible without detection." Taeho's frown deepened. "They want to take humans for study." "They've been watching us for decades," Sujin said. "Just as we've been watching them. The difference is they think we're primitive. They have no idea what we've built." Taeho moved to the main control panel and pressed a button. A large map of the solar system appeared, showing the positions of all known alien vessels. There were 12 of them, all staying far from Earth. "Has the Defense Council been updated?" he asked. "Yes. President Hyunwoo Lee called for a meeting tomorrow. They want you there." Taeho nodded. He had expected this. Since finding the alien ship, Earth had created 2 important groups. The Surveillance Division, which he led, watched all alien activity. The Defense Council decided how Earth would respond. "I'll be there. Keep monitoring their communications. I want to know the moment they do anything beyond watching." Later that day, Taeho visited the technology section of the station. Here, engineers worked to understand and improve upon alien technology. What they had learned had changed everything for Earth. Chief Engineer Junseo Kang looked up from a strange metal object floating above his workbench. "Commander, good timing. We've made progress with the energy shield." "Show me," said Taeho. Junseo picked up a small device and pressed it. A soft blue glow surrounded a test area. He then fired a laser at it. The laser light bent around the shield and continued on the other side. "It doesn't stop the attack. It redirects it," Junseo explained. "Much more efficient than absorption. We can now shield a vessel the size of an old space shuttle." "Can we shield larger ships?" asked Taeho. "Not yet. But we're getting closer. The alien materials we found last year helped us solve several problems." Taeho nodded. Earth's secret fleet was growing. 5 large ships hidden on the far side of the moon, and 20 smaller vessels in underground bases. None had been used beyond the solar system yet. That was the rule. "Stay hidden until ready. Good work. The Council is getting more interested in our system. We need to be prepared." The next day, Taeho traveled to the underground base beneath the Pacific Ocean. Here, the Defense Council met in a room deep below the sea floor. Security was absolute. The fate of humanity was discussed in this room. President Hyunwoo Lee sat at the head of the table. Around him were the heads of major nations and key scientists. Dr. Sujin Park was there. along with General Na Young Choi of the United Earth Defense Force. "Commander Kim, please share what you've learned," said President Lee. Taeho stood and presented the latest information. He showed the council ships near Neptune and played the translated messages. "They think we're primitive, which works in our favor," he concluded. "But they're getting bolder about entering our system." General Na Young Choi spoke next. Her voice was firm. "My forces are ready to respond if needed. We have weapons that can match their smaller vessels, but not their larger ships," said a council member. "According to our information, their main fleet would overwhelm us, which is why we maintain our silence," said President Lee. "We've made incredible progress in 20 years. Imagine where we'll be in another 20. Dr. Park raised her hand. "There's something else to consider. The Council has 7 main species, but our research shows there are hundreds of other species in the galaxy. Many of them resent the Council's control. They could be potential allies." This caused a stir around the table. The idea of contacting other aliens was controversial. It might reveal Earth's true capabilities too soon. "For now, we maintain the current plan," President Lee decided. "We watch, we learn. We build our strength. The day will come when we reveal ourselves to the galaxy, but only when we can do so from a position of strength." After the meeting, Taeho and Sujin walked together through the base. They had worked closely for many years, united by the secret they shared. "Do you ever wonder if we're making a mistake?" Sujin asked. "Hiding like this?" "Sometimes," Taeho admitted. "But then I read their messages, how they talk about primitive species, how they plan to use us. The Council treats other races as tools or resources. I don't want that for Earth." Sujin nodded. "The biological samples they want to take, they mean people, Taeho. They would kidnap humans for study, which is why we stay hidden, for now." Back at the orbital station, Taeho received a new alert. The alien ships near Neptune had moved. They were deploying some kind of equipment on one of Neptune's moons. "What are they doing?" he asked the monitoring team. "It looks like a small mining operation, sir," replied Jinna. "They're taking samples of ice and minerals." Taeho watched the screens carefully. This was further than the Council had ever gone before. They were now taking resources from Earth's solar system. "Keep all systems on passive monitoring. Record everything, but do nothing to reveal our presence." "Yes, sir." As Taeho looked at the distant shapes of the alien ships, he felt a mix of wonder and concern. Humanity had dreamed of contacting alien life for centuries. Now that contact was possible, they chose to wait and watch instead. "One day," he said quietly, "they'll learn that we were never as primitive as they thought, and when that day comes, they'll understand why Earth remained silent for so long." He turned from the window and walked to the communication room. There was much to report and plans to be made. The Galactic Council was getting closer. Earth would continue to watch and wait, but for how much longer? 3 months had passed since the Galactic Council ships began mining Neptune's moon. Earth continued to watch in silence. Commander Taeho Kim received daily reports about the aliens' activities. So far, they had taken only small amounts of resources. "They're being careful," Taeho told Dr. Sujin Park as they reviewed the latest data. "They don't want to leave signs that other species might notice." "Because they haven't officially claimed our solar system," Sujin replied. "According to their laws, a system with intelligent life can't be claimed without formal contact." Taeho nodded. The Council's own rules were protecting Earth for now, but rules could be broken or changed. A soft beep came from the communication panel. Officer Jin Ali's voice followed. "Commander, we have an urgent situation. Please come to the control room." When Taeho and Sujin arrived, the control room was buzzing with activity. Jinna pointed to the main screen. "Sir, one of our deep space research vessels has lost contact. The Sunho science ship was studying dark matter near the Kuiper belt." Taeho felt his heart sink. The Sunho carried 50 of Earth's best scientists. It was one of the few ships that operated at the very edge of the solar system. "When did you lose contact?" he asked. 20 minutes ago. Their last message mentioned detecting an unknown object approaching their position. Taeho turned to the tracking officer. "Show me all Council ships in that area." The screen changed to show the edge of the solar system. A red dot blinked where the Sunho had been. Nearby, a larger blue dot was moving away from the area. "Council enforcement vessel," said the tracking officer. "It wasn't there an hour ago. It must have jumped into the system recently." "Send our nearest stealth probe to that location," ordered Taeho. "I want to know what happened." The wait was tense. Earth's stealth probes were nearly undetectable but moved relatively slowly. It would take hours to reach the Sun Ho's last position. President Hyun-Woo Lee called during the wait. His face on the screen looked grim. "Commander, what do we know?" "Very little, Mr. President. We have a probe en route. The council ship is still in the area but moving away. 50 of our people, Commander. 50 of our brightest minds, I know, sir. We'll find out what happened." 6 hours later, the probe reached the location. Its cameras showed debris floating in space. Pieces of metal and other materials scattered across a wide area. There was no doubt. The Sun Ho had been destroyed. The control room fell silent as they watched the images. Tae-ho felt a cold anger building inside him. "Search for survivors," he ordered. There were escape pods on that ship. The probe continued its search. After another hour, it found something. A single escape pod drifting among the debris. Its emergency beacon was active. "Life signs?" Tae-ho asked. "One person," replied Jinnah. "Alive but weak. Send our fastest retrieval ship now." Within hours, a small fast Earth ship reached the escape pod and brought it back to the hidden lunar base. Inside was Science Officer Ji-hoon Kang, barely conscious but alive. After medical treatment, Ji-hoon was able to speak. Tae-ho, Soo-jin, and General Na-young Choi gathered to hear his account. "We were collecting data on dark matter flows," Ji-hoon said, his voice weak. "Then our sensors detected a ship coming toward us. It wasn't using any stealth technology. It just appeared suddenly." "The council ship," said Tae-ho. Ji-hoon nodded. "They sent a message in standard galactic language, demanding to know who we were and what we were doing there. Before we could even respond, they fired on us." "They fired without warning?" General Na-young asked, her face hard with anger. "Yes. Captain Min-jae tried to explain that we were peaceful researchers, but they kept firing. He ordered us to the escape pods. I saw the other pods launch, but then there was a huge explosion. I don't know if any of the others made it." Tae-ho looked at General Na-young. "Search the entire area. Find any other survivors." But after days of searching, no other escape pods were found. Science Officer Ji-hoon Kang was the only survivor of the Sun Ho. An emergency meeting of the Defense Council was called. The room was filled with tension as President Lee opened the session. "For 20 years we have watched and waited," he said. "We have built our strength in secret, avoiding conflict with the Galactic Council. But now they have crossed a line. They have killed our people." General Na-young Choi stood. "Mr. President, the United Earth Defense Force is ready to respond. We can strike the Council ships in our system immediately." Ambassador Do-yeon Park, who handled theoretical first contact scenarios, raised her hand. "A direct military response could lead to full-scale war. The Council has hundreds of worlds and thousands of ships. We should consider other options first." "What options?" demanded General Na-young. "They murdered 50 of our people." "We could reveal ourselves diplomatically," suggested Do-yeon. "Show them our true technological level and demand justice for the attack." The debate continued for hours. Some council members wanted immediate retaliation. Others feared provoking a war Earth might not win. Ji-hoon Kang was brought in to speak. Despite his injuries, he stood straight before the world leaders. "The ship that attacked us wasn't trying to capture us for study," he said. "They didn't try to communicate properly. They saw us as intruders and eliminated us. If they're willing to do that to a research vessel, what will they do when they discover how advanced we really are?" President Lee finally raised his hand for silence. "We have built in secret for 20 years because we knew the day might come when the Council would force our hand. That day has arrived, but we will be smart about our response." He turned to Tae-ho. "Commander, what do we know about the Council ship that attacked the Sun Ho?" "It was an enforcement vessel," Tae-ho replied. "Not a major warship, but well armed. It's still in our system, now moving toward the Neptune mining operation." "And our capabilities against such a vessel?" General Na-young answered. "Our newest ships could match or exceed it, but using them would reveal our true technology level." President Lee nodded slowly. "Then it's time to make a decision. Do we remain silent, or do we show the Galactic Council that Earth is not what they think it is?" The vote was taken. The decision: Earth would respond, but carefully. They would give the Council one chance to acknowledge their crime and make amends. After the meeting, Tae-ho found Soo-jin in the observation deck, looking at the stars. "What do you think will happen?" she asked without turning. "Best case? The Council accepts responsibility, offers reparations, and we begin formal relations with them as equals. Taeho said. And worst case, war. Sujin turned to him. Are we ready for that? General Nayoung believes we can hold our own against their local forces. Not their full military, but enough to make them think twice. All these years of silence, Sujin said softly. All our work. Everything changes now. Taeho nodded. It was always going to change someday. We just hoped it would be on our terms. The plan was set in motion. Earth would send an unmanned probe directly to the Galactic Council headquarters on Proxima Centauri b. The probe contained evidence of the attack on the Sunho, along with a message. Earth knew about the Galactic Council, had been watching them for years, and now demanded justice for the unprovoked attack. The probe was prepared in Earth's largest hidden shipyard beneath the Gobi Desert. It contained the most advanced technology Earth had developed, including a faster-than-light drive reverse-engineered from the crashed alien ship. Taeho stood with President Lee as the probe was made ready for launch. Once we send this, there's no going back, said the president. Earth will no longer be silent. They left us no choice, replied Taeho. They brought this moment upon themselves. As the probe launched in secret carrying Earth's message to the stars, Taeho thought about all the years of silent preparation. The watching, the learning, the building, it had all been for this. The day when humanity would finally step onto the galactic stage, not as primitives to be studied or resources to be harvested, but as equals who demanded respect. The Galactic Council had pushed too far. Now they would learn why Earth had remained silent for so long. The probe from Earth traveled faster than light, crossing the vast distance to Proxima Centauri in just under 3 days. This alone would shock the Galactic Council. Their records showed that humans had barely reached their own moon. On Earth, Commander Taeho Kim and his team monitored the probe's journey from the control center. President Hyunwoo Lee and other key leaders joined them for the moment of arrival. Probe will reach Proxima Centauri in 5 minutes, reported Officer Jin-ah. Lee, all systems functioning. Normally, Dr. Soo-Jin Park stood beside Taeho. I still can't believe we're doing this, she said quietly. After all these years of silence. They gave us no choice, Taeho replied. 50 lives. 50 of our best. The large screen showed the probe's view as it approached the Proxima Centauri system. The star's red light bathed everything in a crimson glow. Soon, they could see the planet Proxima Centauri b, where the Galactic Council maintained their regional headquarters. The Council believes this sector of space is quiet and controlled, said Taeho. They're about to learn otherwise. The probe entered orbit around the planet. Below, they could see a sprawling complex of buildings, the Council's headquarters. Ships of various designs moved around the area. Activate the broadcast, ordered President Lee. Jinnah pressed several controls. Broadcasting on all known Council frequencies, sir. The message from Earth began to transmit. It was sent in all 7 major Council languages. Another fact that would surprise them. The message appeared on the main screen. To the Galactic Council. We are the people of Earth. For 20 years we have observed your activities in silence. We have learned your languages, studied your technology, and watched as you discussed our future without our input. 3 days ago, one of your enforcement vessels destroyed our research ship Sun Ho, killing 49 of our people. This unprovoked attack cannot and will not go unanswered. We have watched. We have learned. We have waited. The deaths of our people will not go unanswered. We demand formal acknowledgement of this attack, punishment for those responsible, and reparations for the families of those killed. You have 48 hours to respond. We are watching. The message included data from the Sunho's final moments and Ji-Hoon Kang's testimony. Message sent, said Jinnah. The probe is now in observation mode. Now they could only wait. The probe's cameras showed the Council headquarters. At first, nothing seemed to change. Then gradually they noticed increased activity. Ships were moving faster. People were running between buildings. They're reacting, said Soo-Jin. They've received the message. Through the probe's powerful microphones, they began to pick up communications between Council ships. The translation system worked quickly to convert them. Unknown vessel in orbit. Message claims to be from Earth. Impossible. Security breach. Alert the High Council. President Lee smiled grimly. They're confused. Good. Let them feel uncertain for once. Within hours, the probe detected a large gathering in the main Council chamber. Using its advanced sensors, it was able to observe and listen to the emergency meeting. 7 different alien species sat in a circular arrangement. Each represented one of the founding races of the Galactic Council. At the center stood a tall reptilian being that the translation system identified as High Marshal Zarth, the Council's military leader. "This message is clearly a hoax," Zarth was saying, his scaled skin reflecting the chamber's lights. "The humans of Earth are a primitive species barely capable of reaching their own moon. They could not possibly have sent this probe." Another council member, a small being with 4 arms, responded. "Then how do you explain this vessel that appeared in our orbit without detection? How do you explain that it broadcasts in all our languages?" "A rebel faction from within the council," declared Zarth. "They seek to cause confusion by claiming to be a primitive species." "And the attack?" asked another member. "The data shows one of our enforcement vessels did fire upon a ship near the Sol system." Zarth made a dismissive gesture. The enforcement captain reported an unknown vessel of unknown origin. It refused to identify itself and was deemed a potential threat. The captain followed standard protocol. The debate continued for hours. Some council members seemed concerned about the implications. Others, like Zarth, refused to believe Earth could have advanced so quickly in secret. Back on Earth, the leadership watched with growing frustration. "They're not taking us seriously," said General Na Young Choi. "We need to show them we mean what we say." President Lee turned to her. "What do you suggest?" "Operation ShadowNet," she replied. "It's time." Taeho looked at the president. "Sir, ShadowNet was meant as a last resort." "And where are we now, Commander?" asked the president. "They've killed our people and now dismiss our message." "If not now, when?" After a moment, Taeho nodded. "Yes, sir." General Nayang moved to a secure terminal and entered a complex code. On the screen, a map of known council space appeared, with dozens of small dots blinking across it. "For 10 years, we've been placing dormant devices throughout council space," she explained. "Small, undetectable units attached to their ships, their stations, even their outposts. Each one capable of temporarily disabling their technology. Stealth drones," added Taeho, "delivered by our unmanned ships. The council never noticed them." "Activate the system," ordered President Lee. "Target only military vessels. No civilian ships." General Nayang entered another code. "ShadowNet activating. Targeting council military vessels only." On the screens, they watched as the small devices came to life across council space. The map showed 50 military vessels in different locations, suddenly going dark as their power systems were temporarily shut down. Through the probe at Proxima Centauri, they saw the council chamber erupt into chaos as reports flooded in. 50 vessels disabled simultaneously. Systems just shut down without warning. No casualties reported, but ships are drifting. "How is this possible?" High Marshal Zarth's face showed shock for the first time. "Find out what's happening now!" At that moment, the probe transmitted a second message to the council chamber. "This demonstration affects only 50 of your vessels. The systems will reboot in 1 hour with no permanent damage. No lives were taken. Unlike your attack on our research vessel, we choose to show restraint. We could have destroyed these ships. Remember that. You have 47 hours remaining to acknowledge the attack on the Sunho and make amends." In the Earth control room, President Lee nodded with satisfaction. "Now they know we're serious." "And they know we could have done much worse," added General Nayang. "That we chose not to." The council chamber fell silent as the message played. Even Zarth seemed at a loss for words. Finally, one of the council members, an older being with pale blue skin, spoke. "If this truly is Earth, then we have made a grave error in judgment. They have technology that rivals or exceeds our own. They have been watching us without our knowledge, and now we have given them reason to see us as enemies." Another member added, "They could have killed everyone on those 50 ships. Instead, they merely disabled them temporarily. That shows restraint and perhaps a willingness to resolve this diplomatically." Zarth found his voice again. "This changes nothing. If Earth has indeed been developing in secret, then they are an even greater threat than we thought. They have violated council law by advancing beyond their assigned development path. They should be contained, not appeased." The debate within the council continued. The members split into factions, those who advocated for peaceful contact and those who saw Earth as a threat to be eliminated. On Earth, the leadership watched this division with interest. "The council is not united," observed Sujin. "We can use that." 3 species seem to favor diplomacy, said Tejo. 4, led by Zarth, want conflict. If we can strengthen the peace faction, we might avoid war. President Lee considered this. Contact Ambassador Do-Yeon Park. If there's a chance for diplomatic resolution, we should prepare for it. As the Earth leadership discussed their next steps, the probe continued to monitor the Council. Hours passed and the disabled ships regained power as promised. This seemed to impress some Council members even more. Earth had kept its word. By the end of Earth's day, the Council had not yet reached a decision, but something important had changed. They now knew that Earth was not what they had thought. The silent planet had finally spoken, and its voice was stronger than they had ever imagined. Tejo stood alone in the observation room that night, looking at the stars. For 20 years, humanity had hidden its true capabilities, watching and learning from the shadows. Now they had stepped into the light. Was it worth it? Asked Sujin, joining him at the window. All those years of silence? We'll soon find out, replied Tejo. The next 48 hours will determine whether our silence bought us peace or merely delayed an inevitable war. As they looked at the stars, both knew that nothing would ever be the same again. Earth had remained silent until pushed too far. Now the galaxy would hear its voice one way or another. The Galactic Council remained in emergency session as Earth's deadline approached. Through the probe, Commander Tejo Kim and his team watched the growing divide among the 7 species, 3 of the Council. Races now openly supported peaceful contact with Earth. They were impressed by Earth's restraint in the ShadowNet demonstration and frightened by how easily humans had infiltrated their systems. The Lumari, the Vex, and the Noor support diplomatic solutions, reported Dr. Sujin Park, who had been analyzing the Council debates. The other 4, led by High Marshal Zarth Strakari, still view us as a threat to be controlled. President Hyun-Woo Lee called an emergency meeting of Earth's Defense Council. Ambassador Do-Yeon Park presented her assessment of the situation. The Council is fracturing over how to respond to us, she said. This is both an opportunity and a danger. If the peace faction prevails, we may achieve recognition as equals without further conflict. But if Zarth's faction wins out, they may attempt a preemptive strike against Earth. General Na-Young Choi frowned. Zarth has been moving ships toward our system. Not many yet, but enough to show his intentions. Then we should prepare for both possibilities, said President Lee. Ambassador Park, prepare a diplomatic team. General Choi, ready our defense fleet. The President turned to Tejo. Commander, I want our first official fleet ready to depart for Proxima Centauri within 24 hours. It's time to show ourselves directly. Tejo nodded. Yes, sir. I recommend Captain Min Ho-yoon to lead the mission. He's our most experienced deep space commander. Approved. And I want Dr. Park and Officer Kang to join the mission as well. Dr. Park for her knowledge of the Council species, and Officer Kang as a living witness to their attack. As the meeting ended, Tejo went to find Ji-hoon Kang. The young science officer had recovered physically from his ordeal, but the loss of his colleague still weighed heavily on him. Officer Kang, the President has requested that you join our diplomatic mission to the Council, Tejo told him. Your testimony could be crucial. Ji-hoon looked surprised. Me? I'm not a diplomat or a soldier. No, but you're a survivor. You represent the 49 people who didn't make it. The Council needs to see the human cost of their actions. After a moment, Ji-hoon nodded. I'll do it. For my friends. In the massive underground hangar beneath the Pacific Ocean, Earth's first official interstellar fleet was being prepared. 10 vessels that represented the best of human technology and ingenuity. The flagship, named Unity, would carry Captain Min Ho-yoon, Dr. Sujin Park, and Officer Ji-hoon Kang. Captain Min Ho inspected his ship with pride. At 42, he had spent his entire adult life training for this moment, humanity's first official contact with the Galactic Council. Is the ship ready? Asked Tejo, joining him on the observation deck. Ready and eager, replied Min Ho. The crew can't believe we're finally revealing ourselves after all these years. It was always going to happen eventually, said Tejo. We just hoped it would be under better circumstances. As the fleet prepared to depart, Earth's deadline to the Council expired. The probe at Proxima Centauri transmitted a final message. Your time has run out. Earth is sending representatives to discuss the attack on our vessel and our future relations. They will arrive within 3 days. Any hostile action against them will be considered an act of war. The Earth fleet launched in secret, rising from hidden bases around the planet and quickly moving beyond the moon. Using their advanced drives, they accelerated to faster than light speed, leaving the solar system behind. On the Unity, Captain Minho gathered his key personnel. "Our mission is clear," he told them. "We represent all of humanity in this first official contact. We seek justice for the Sunho attack, but also peaceful relations if possible. We show strength, but also restraint." Dr. Sujin Park had spent years studying council species, but had never seen one in person. "Remember, each species has different cultural norms," she advised. "The Drakari, Zarth's people, value strength above all. The Lumari respond to logical arguments. The Vex admire technological skill." Ji-Hoon Kang sat quietly during the briefing. When it ended, he approached Sujin. "What should I say when I face them? The people who killed my friends?" Sujin placed a hand on his shoulder. "Tell the truth. That's all anyone can ask of you." Back on Earth, Taeho and General Nayoung monitored the Council's reaction to their final message. "Zarth is calling for immediate military action," reported Nayoung. "He wants to intercept our fleet before it reaches Proxima Centauri." "And the others?" asked Taeho. "The peace faction is resisting. They're arguing that attacking our representatives would only prove us right about the Council's hostile intentions." President Lee joined them in the control room. "We're past the point of no return now," he said. 20 years of silence ended in a matter of days. "Sir," said Taeho, "was it worth it? All the secrecy, all the preparation?" The president looked at the screens showing the Earth fleet moving through space. "Without it, we'd be meeting the Council as subjects, not equals. So yes, Commander, it was worth it." As the Earth fleet approached the halfway point of their journey, they detected Council ships moving to intercept them. Captain Minho ordered the fleet to maintain course. "They're testing us," he told his crew. "They want to see if we'll change course or take hostile action." On the Council ships, confusion reigned as their sensors reported the human vessels' capabilities. "Their technology can't possibly be this advanced," one captain reported to Zarth. "Their ships are faster than our interceptors and have energy. Signatures we've never seen before." Zarth's orders came back. "Demand they stop and submit to inspection. If they refuse, fire warning shots." The Council ships transmitted the demand to the Earth fleet. Captain Minho received the message on his bridge. "They're still treating us like inferiors," he said. "Respond with this. We are representatives of Earth on a diplomatic mission to the Galactic Council. We will not submit to inspection. Any hostile action will be met with appropriate response." The message was sent. Minutes later, the Council ships fired energy weapons across the path of the Earth vessels. Warning shots as ordered. Captain Minho remained calm. "No evasive action. Maintain course. Activate defensive systems only." As the energy blasts approached the Earth ships, their advanced shield systems activated. The blasts were redirected around the ships, causing no damage. "Send a message," ordered Minho. "Tell them their weapons are ineffective and further hostile action will force us to demonstrate our own capabilities." The Council ships fell back, reporting their failure to Zarth. The High Marshal was furious but realized direct confrontation might be unwise given the humans' unexpected capabilities. 3 days after leaving Earth, the fleet arrived at Proxima Centauri b. They entered orbit directly above the Council headquarters, making no attempt to hide their presence. On the planet below, the Council chamber was in chaos. The Peace faction, now strengthened by Earth's restrained response to the warning shots, demanded that the human representatives be heard. "They could have destroyed our ships but chose not to," argued the Lumari representative. "The least we can do is listen to what they have to say." Even some of Zarth's supporters were wavering. The humans had proven themselves technologically advanced and militarily restrained, a combination that commanded respect. Captain Minho prepared to lead the first official Earth delegation to the Council. With him would go Dr. Sujin Park, Officer Ji-Hoon Kang, and 4 security officers. "This is the moment humanity steps onto the galactic stage," Minho told them as they boarded the shuttle. "Whatever happens today will be remembered for generations." The shuttle descended through the atmosphere of Proxima Centauri b, landing directly in the central plaza of the Council headquarters. Crowds of aliens from dozens of species gathered to witness the arrival of the mysterious humans who had hidden their true nature for so long. As the shuttle door opened, Captain Minho stepped out first, standing tall in his Earth Unified Command uniform. Behind him came Dr. Park, Officer Kang, and the security team. The council representatives waited on a platform nearby, the 7 primary species arranged in their traditional positions. High Marshal Zarth stood at the center, his reptilian features set in a hard expression. "I am Captain Minho Yoon of Earth," Minho announced, his voice amplified for all to hear. "We come seeking justice for an unprovoked attack on our research vessel and to establish our rightful place among the galactic community." Zarth stepped forward. "You have violated council law by developing beyond your assigned path. You have infiltrated our systems and threatened our ships. You are the aggressors here, not victims." Minho's expression remained calm. "We violated no laws. Earth never agreed to be assigned a development path. We were never asked. You decided our fate without our knowledge or consent." He gestured to Ji-hoon. "This officer witnessed your ships destroy our research vessel without provocation. 49 scientists died. We demand acknowledgement of this crime and justice for those lives." As Ji-hoon stepped forward to tell his story, the gathered aliens fell silent. The moment of truth had arrived. Earth's long silence had ended, and now the galaxy would hear its voice. Officer Ji-hoon Kang stood before the Galactic Council and thousands of alien observers. His voice was steady as he recounted the unprovoked attack on the Sunho research vessel. "We were scientists, studying space phenomena," he said. "Your ship approached us. Before we could even respond to their message, they opened fire. My friends, my colleagues, 49 brilliant minds were killed without warning, without reason." The crowd murmured as translation devices carried his words to all present. Ji-hoon continued, his eyes fixed on High Marshal Zarth. "I watched them die. I alone survived to tell Earth what happened. This wasn't a misunderstanding. Your ship saw us as insignificant, primitives who could be eliminated without consequence." When he finished, silence filled the Grand Plaza. Even Zarth seemed momentarily at a loss for words. A council member from the Lumari species finally spoke. "We request the records from the enforcement vessel that conducted this attack." Data screens appeared, showing the encounter from the council ship's perspective. The Sunho appeared, clearly a research vessel with no weapons. The council ship's communication, then weapons fire almost immediately afterward. The Sunho breaking apart, escape pods launching, most destroyed by continued fire. The evidence was damning. 3 council members immediately shifted their positions, physically moving away from Zarth to indicate their change of allegiance. "This was not an enforcement action," stated the Lumari representative. "This was an unprovoked attack on an unarmed vessel. The council apologizes to Earth for this grave injustice," Zarth hissed in anger. "You apologize to a species that has been spying on us for decades? That has placed hidden devices on our ships? That threatens the very order of the galaxy?" Captain Minho stepped forward. "Earth did what was necessary to protect itself. Your records show you intended to uplift us only to use us as laborers and test subjects. You discussed harvesting resources from our system without our knowledge. What sovereign species would accept such treatment?" Dr. Soojin Park added, "We studied your 7 founding species and the hundreds of others you've contacted. Those who revealed themselves without preparation were subjugated. Those who resisted openly were crushed. We chose a third path, to build our strength in silence until we could meet as equals." The council chamber erupted into debate. The Peace faction, now including 4 of the 7 founding species, argued for formal recognition of Earth as a sovereign power. Zarth's faction insisted that humans had violated council protocols and should be contained. As the debate raged, Captain Minho received an urgent message from the Unity in orbit. "Sir, we're detecting a fleet of council warships entering the system. They're on an attack trajectory toward Earth." Minho's face hardened. He turned to Zarth. "You ordered an attack on our homeworld while we're here negotiating in good faith?" The plaza fell silent again. All eyes turned to Zarth, whose expression confirmed the accusation. "Earth is a threat that must be contained," Zarth declared. "Their advancement violates the natural order we have maintained for millennia. Sometimes harsh action is necessary for the greater good." The Lumari representative stood. "You've exceeded your authority, High Marshal. The council has made no such decision." "The decision is made," Zarth replied. "My fleet will ensure Earth understands its proper place." Captain Minho activated his communication device. Unity alert Earth Defense Command. Zarth has launched an attack fleet. Then prepare our ships to intercept. Minho turned to the council. We came here seeking justice and peaceful relations. Instead, your High Marshal launches a sneak attack on our homeworld while we talk. This is the true nature of the council under his leadership. On Earth, Commander Taeho Kim received the alert. Zarth's fleet has left Proxima Centauri, heading for Earth. Estimated arrival in 6 days. President Lee immediately convened the Defense Council. How many ships? 23 warships, reported General Nayoung Choi. Their largest vessels. Significantly more firepower than we've faced before. Activate all defense systems, ordered the President. And prepare the Aegis Protocol. Taeho looked surprised. Sir, Aegis has never been tested in actual combat. There's a first time for everything. Commander. Meanwhile, Captain Minho and his fleet left Proxima Centauri in pursuit of Zarth's attack force. The Earth ships were faster but had fewer weapons. Their goal was not to defeat Zarth in battle, but to slow him down until Earth could prepare its defenses. We need to buy time, Minho told his captains. Engage from maximum range. Use hit-and-run tactics. Make them work for every light year. Dr. Sujin Park and Officer Ji-hoon Kang remained on Proxima Centauri with a small security team. Their mission had changed. Now they needed to rally support among the Council species. Zarth has violated Council law, Sujin told the assembled representatives. He launched an attack without authorization. He seeks to destroy a species that came to you peacefully seeking justice. Is this the Council you wish to be part of? The Lumari, Vex, and Noor representatives officially condemned Zarth's actions. They were joined by the fourth species, the Teller, who had been swayed by Ji-hoon's testimony. We demand Zarth be removed from his position immediately, stated the Lumari representative, and we extend formal recognition to Earth as a sovereign power with all rights under Council law. In deep space, Minho's fleet engaged Zarth's warships. The Earth vessels darted in and out of weapons range, using their superior speed and advanced shield technology to land hits while avoiding major damage. They're adapting to our tactics, reported Minho's first officer after the third skirmish. And we've lost 2 ships. We can't stop them, only slow them down. Minho nodded grimly. That's all Earth asked us to do. Every hour we delay them gives our defenses more time to prepare. On Earth, those preparations were reaching their peak. The Aegis Protocol, a planetary shield system developed from the same technology used in their ships, was being activated for the first time. Commander Taeho supervised from the main control center beneath the Pacific. Synchronize all generator stations, he ordered. Power at 100% on my mark. Around the planet, hidden facilities powered up. The technology that had been developed in secret for 20 years was about to face its greatest test. Aegis active, reported Officer Jinna Lee as the system came online. A faint blue shimmer appeared in the upper atmosphere, visible from space but nearly undetectable from the ground. 4 days later, the remnants of Minho's fleet entered Earth's solar system, still harassing Zarth's warships. 6 Earth ships remained, damaged but operational. They had delayed the attack fleet by nearly 2 days. Fall back to Earth, ordered General Nayoung via secure channel. Let them come to us now. Minho acknowledged and led his remaining ships toward home. Behind them, Zarth's fleet regrouped for their final approach. What Zarth didn't know was that during the running battle, Earth had sent a message to all species in the galaxy. The message included evidence of the Sunho attack and Zarth's unauthorized assault on Earth. It also contained an invitation to all species who have lived under Council dominance, who have been deemed primitive or unworthy of equal status. Earth extends its hand in friendship. We believe in a galaxy where advancement is not controlled, where each species determines its own path. Join us in creating a new order based on mutual respect. As Zarth's fleet approached Earth, something unexpected happened. Ships began appearing from hyperspace, vessels from dozens of non-Council species. They took positions around Earth, forming an impromptu defensive line. What is this? Demanded Zarth when he saw the gathered fleet. Who dares interfere with Council business? A transmission came from one of the new ships. We are the Free Species Alliance. For too long we have watched the Council decide which races are worthy of advancement. Earth has shown us another way is possible. You will not stand alone against the Council, Earth, not anymore. On his flagship, Zarth raged at this development, but he was committed now. Continue the attack, he ordered. Target Earth's major cities. Show them and their allies the price of defiance. His fleet moved forward, weapons charged. They fired at Earth, expecting to see destruction on the surface. Instead, their energy weapons hit the Aegis shield, dissipating harmlessly in bright flashes of light. "Again," ordered Zarth. "Full power!" They fired again with the same result. Earth's shield held firm. "Now," said President Lee from the command center, "show them our response." From Earth's surface and orbital platforms, energy beams shot upward. Unlike the Council weapons, these didn't aim to destroy. They targeted specific systems on Zarth's flagship, disabling its weapons and engines without causing catastrophic damage. Within minutes, Zarth's command ship was drifting helplessly. The rest of his fleet, seeing this precision strike and surrounded by Earth and Free Alliance vessels, stood down. Captain Minho opened a channel to all ships. "This is Captain Minho Yun of Earth. High Marshal Zarth has been relieved of command by order of the Galactic Council. Stand down and prepare to escort him back to Proxima Centauri to face judgment for his unauthorized actions on Proxima Centauri." Dr. Sujin Park and Officer Ji-Hoon Kang watched as the reformed council voted to remove Zarth from power and offer formal recognition to Earth as an equal member. "Earth has demonstrated not only advanced technology," stated the Lumari representative,